Hi, it's Paul. In this clip we're going to watch Gail perform a rapid manual Papstain. This is usually done on an automated machine in the lab, but it's useful to look at the individual steps, I think. So the first stain is Gill's hematoxylin, and so we want to go down to water before going into that. Gail's just moving through ethanols here, 70, and then into water before going into hematoxylin. We use a progressive stain, so we don't overstain and then destain like in histo. In most H&Es, we just stain it for the right amount. So Gill's, it sits in the hematoxylin for 2 minutes, and then we just wash, usually in running water. So in the automated stainer that would just be a running water bath as well until it's clear. Then we need to blue the hematoxylin, as you know, and that's done by putting it in an alkaline solution. We use Scott's tap water substitute in cytology usually. You need to make sure you wash that off or you're left with a bit of a cloudy residue. And then we need to dehydrate again, because the two cytoplasmic counterstains that we use are both alcohol based. So we're just going through 90% alcohols here. A couple of rinses of those prior to the first cytoplasmic stain, and that's orange G, OG. It's a useful stain for many cytology specimens. Excuse me, because it stains keratin, high molecular weight keratins, an intense orange colour. So that's a really useful guide to squamous differentiation. That is a 2-minute stain as well. Then we just rinse off excess again in alcohol before going into the second counter stain. It is a combination of a couple of stains. It's eosin plus azure, and in fact EA65 has a bit of Bismarck brown in it as well. Some people use EA50, which doesn't have that, and really there's not a whole lot of difference, to be honest. So that's usually a 3-minute stain. Then we move on, rinse that thoroughly in alcohol again, and we want to dehydrate prior to going into xylene for clearing. So a couple of these alcohols really are just rinsing. You can see there's a bit of carryover stain into them, and then we'll move into absolute alcohol, 100%. Very important to get rid of all of the water at this stage. That's why the jars are fairly highly filled, as you can see. If we have any water carrying over, as you know, in xylene, that will produce a really milky, messy appearance. That's not at all clear, so we then would have to go back through xylene and rehydrate again. We've got in between here a mixture of 100% alcohol and xylene, half-half. It's just to help move it into the xylene. Notice Gail had the xylenes covered at all times. That's just good health and safety. And this is a rapid thing. We would normally spend probably a couple of minutes in xylene. We would then cover slip that, and then with a good Papstain, we look down the microscope. This is what we want to see. Some metabolically active cells are nice greeny aqua colour. Nuclei are very crisply stained with chromatin. And mature squamous cells have a nice orangiophilia to them. Notice also there's a sort of slightly yellowish tinge to the ones on the right bottom. That's glycogen staining pale yellow. Just demonstrating nucleoli, you can see them, small eosinophilic bodies in these gland cells.